Well, for more Nigeria's unfolding energy crisis with specific focus on the aviation sector, Captain MUSA NUHU, the Director General, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight.
Thank you very much.
There is fire on the mountain. Airlines are stretched to the maximum. I may be forced to ground some airlines. Those are some of your words from earlier today when you faced that panel. Can you elaborate on this statement of yours and what are your concerns truly?
Thank you very much. Yeah, my concerns are the cost of running the airlines. With the astronomical rise in Jet A1 over the last couple of weeks, significantly depreciates the liquidity of the airlines, and they need those funds to be able to comply with a lot of safety issues. And any organization, any airline that begins to have significant financial problems is likely to start cutting corners, and we must avoid getting into that situation. The price of Jet A1 was about a year ago was about 119 naira. As of this morning, it was 617 naira. Wow. We did a quick calculation, and if we have a flight from Abuja to Lagos, the cost of fuel alone takes 45% of the revenue. And there are so many other requirements for the airline that they need to do. So the situation, the Jet A1 price vis-a-vis the current 50,000 airfares is not going to work. Something has to give in.
So what exactly has to give? And really, is it just a problem of scarcity, non-availability? Is it a problem of cost? Is it a problem of sabotage? Is that why Jet A1 is not available? Because we heard, in that report that there's a 39-day supply available. And so authorities are surprised that there's scarcity in the first place.
Well, I don't know. The complaints we've had from the airlines and investigations, follow-up investigation to clarify, showed the sharp increase in the cost of Jet A1. And also sometimes it's difficult for the airlines to source it. And also a lot of the the companies that sell the Jet A1 to the operators, they request for upfront cash payment. So for a flight going from Abuja to Lagos, they need to carry maybe 3 or 3.5 million naira in cash to pay for the fuel. That it doesn't work that way, you know.
Well, from what you've said, I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate that you're up to your responsibility, saying that it's better to be safe than to be sorry. When you say you might need to ground some of these airlines, do you want to tell us if you've reached that point, how many airlines you're going to ground? And let me also ask you, are you considering passenger rights at this time? Because I know the NCAA is particular when it comes to the right to compensation for flight cancellation, delays or denied boarding, which is what we have seen in the last few days. Are we going to see compensation for travelers?
Well, we're working with the airlines. There are certain compensation, there are certain actions they must take when flights are delayed beyond a certain point or when flights are cancelled. And we're working with the airlines. But because of the sharp increase in the fuel, there have been significant number of delays, some outright cancellations, and some flights were combined together by the airlines because of the astronomical fare. They want to congregate the passengers so that the flights can at least cover the cost, operating costs.
Now, let's even talk about the airlines coming together, like you just mentioned.
I want him to answer the grounding of airlines, so we don't lose that in transit.
Great.
How many are you going to ground?
We are not there yet, but we're getting pretty close. So we need to raise the alarm so that something can be done. Grounding any airline will have significant consequences on the economy of the country, and we certainly do not want to do that. But if it gets to a point that we feel and we do know that the airlines are not financially buoyant to operate safely, we'll take all the necessary actions we need to do. We are pretty close, we're not there yet.
And I wonder what measures you're going to be taking. I'd like you to address that. And then the airlines are coming up with this alliance called Spring alliance. How will that change things, especially for, you know, air travelers in Nigeria? And is the timing right? What exactly is the position of the NCAA as far as that's concerned?
Well, we had the Spring Alliance. We've not received anything from the airlines on that. We read it on the pages of the newspapers, and we saw it on the social media like you did. And we're going to be working with the airlines. They need to give us what they mean by Spring Alliance. We need to go through it because our regulation says whenever one or two airlines come together to work, we must find out what kind of relationship it's there so that we ensure that, first of all, passenger rights are protected. And number two, there's no violation of any of our civil aviation regulations. So once we get the information from the airlines, the 6 airlines that form the Spring Alliance, we're going to just review our regulatory and legal departments to review the documentation. Then depending on what we see, then we know where we go from there.
Is the timing right, if at all it is true? I mean, they've only just been accused of forming a cartel that may be, you know, against, you know, anti-competition. I mean, is the timing right?
That's why I need to see what the Spring. I don't know what it is about. So to be honest, it'll not be fair to make comments of what I don't know about.
And how? I mean, we've been to the airport. We have correspondents at the major international and local airports monitoring the situation. But in your own opinion, how bad is the situation, and would Nigerian travelers be getting reprieve anytime soon?
Well, based on the hearing we had under the leadership of the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of the House, and some of the decisions taken, hopefully, very shortly, we hope to see some reprieve.
How short is shortly?
As soon as possible. Actually, I had some information, unconfirmed information, that after the meeting, actually the price of Jet A1 has started dropping significantly. But I'm yet to confirm that as of today, about 2 hours after the meeting. Somebody sent me a report that it's dropped by about between 100 and 200 naira per liter.
What could have been responsible for that, very quickly, in 30 seconds?
I don't know.
You have no idea. Okay. All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much. Captain MUSA NUHU is the DG, Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority.